So for today's class, you may want to have, as you can see out in front of you, you may want to have your blocks or your blanket. Your props can help to bring you into a more comfortable position and can sometimes allow you to stretch a little bit deeper, but it's really up to you if you use them. I will let you know when you can, but I don't usually use too many props for Yin class. So there's 4 components to any Yin class. First, you get into the pose. Next, you find your edge, and then you find stillness. You hold the pose for a certain amount of time. And then the 4th component is the release. And the release can be just as important as the posture itself, because we've held our body in a particular position, in a stretching position for 3 minutes. And so we have to be really gentle as we bring it back into neutral space, neutral alignment. So being aware of those 4 components. For today's class, we're going to start in child's pose. I don't know about you, but I've definitely worked up some tension this week, especially back here in my hips. I'm really going to focus on that area today. But it'll be a good stretch no matter where you're carrying any tension. So for child's pose, your big toes come to touch, your knees come out wide to the edges of your mat. Then sink your hips back down onto your heels and start to walk your fingertips forward, letting your chest sink toward the mat, reaching your fingertips forward, letting your chest sink down. Feel the elongation in the spine, noticing the elongation from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Feeling that lengthening. Maybe you even take your hand and put it on your tailbone and just give it a little rub. Just giving a little love to that lower back. And then as we come into our child's pose, I want you to start to notice anywhere in the body that there is some sensation. So maybe that's in your upper backs, in your traps. Maybe that is down in your hips. Maybe you feel some sensation in your calves. Just really checking in, getting hyper aware of the body. Let's bring our awareness to our breath. And let's try and maintain a steady breath throughout the entire class. And let's activate our Ujjayi breath, our yogic breath. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Breathing into the back of the throat, feeling the body expand, but feeling some restriction. You can gently press your tongue against the roof of your mouth. And then exhales, you let your body sink closer to the mat, sink deeper into the mat. And let's set the intention here to bring this breath that we're practicing in this moment through our class, from the beginning to the end. So a calm, consistent breath. And anytime the mind starts to wander, bring your awareness back to the breath. Bring your awareness back into your body. This breath not only helps us to regulate the inhales and exhales, but it also helps to connect us into the body, traveling through the body, noticing sensation, becoming okay, equanimous, having equanimity, having neutral mind when it comes to where you feel sensation and what that sensation might be. Let's keep stretching into our lower back. So start to press yourself up and away. Bring your knees together and slowly press yourself forward, coming down onto your elbows, extending your legs long, coming into Sphinx pose. Pressing those elbows into the mat, paralleling your chin to the floor, closing down your eyes. Feeling that. So now we just extended the lower back. Now we're intentionally compressing the lower back. Focusing on that Ujjayi breath, maintaining that consistent breath throughout class. You can stay right here, or you can spread your fingers wide and press your hands into the mat, lifting your elbows off, straightening out your hands. And we're deepening the compression through the lower back. So we compress in order to release. So we'll compress. Breathe into the front side of the body. Feel the inhale, expand. Feel the exhale, release. Let's release our arms down. Flip your toes. Press yourself back to a puppy pose. So your hips are just hip width distance apart. Let your chest sink down. So now we're releasing the lower back here, but we're also really starting to stretch into our chest and our shoulders. I love this pose. I don't know about you, but I carry a lot of tension in my shoulders and in my chest. And this really helps me to release. This really helps me to sink my chest into the mat. Opening up through my chest, opening up through my shoulders. Letting your chest sink a little more, a little more. And what I love about this posture is that it's called puppy pose, and my dogs do it all the time, and it makes me feel to be in the same posture that they do all the time. Maybe you can gently sink your hips back a little bit more. Holding this pose, feeling that through the shoulders, feeling that through the chest. To change up the sensation slightly, you can stack one hand on top of the other, just to see how that changes the feeling in the body. From here, slowly, gently press yourself up, and let's come onto our bottom. We're going to come into a forward fold. So extend your legs out long, and then inhale your arms up overhead, and exhale as you come forward. Lengthening your body forward. Maybe you come down a little lower. Maybe you can only come to your shins. That's okay. Know that wherever you are is perfectly okay. Focusing on your breath. This is said to be called life nerve stretch, stretching through the entire backside of the body. So the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the body, and we really activate and stretch that nerve in this pose. For me, because I'm extra tight today, it actually feels extra good through the whole backside of my body. My calves, my thighs. And maybe little by little over time, you let your chest sink closer to the mat, closer to your thighs, closer to your shins. Noticing where the mind goes as you feel sensation. Sensation is the body communicating to us. Right now, my body is saying, you did a lot this week. Thank you so much for giving me this time to stretch out what you did. Slowly start to lift up. Let's activate that release, pedaling out our legs. Pedaling out our legs. Next, let's leave our left leg extended. Pull your right leg up and in. Wrap your hands around that right leg. First, squeeze it in. And then bring it to the outside edge of your left thigh. And squeeze that knee in. So there should be some compression through the right hip. Lengthen through your spine, creating space for that compression. Maintaining your Ujjayi breath, focusing on that breath. Bring yourself back to this space. Try not to let your mind wander too far away, allowing yourself to be here and now. Let's release that leg. Bring the left leg first, bring it in like we did on the other side. Bring it in, pull it in, lengthen the spine. You can flex the toes. That creates some stretch through the backside of this leg. Focus on your breath. Then let's shift that foot to the outside edge of your right leg and keep pulling it in. Lengthen the spine, pull that knee in toward the chest. Focus on your breath. All right, let's go in for the release. Extending that leg long. Let's pedal out the legs. Pedal out the legs. Really good. Next, let's bring our feet together. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, let yourself sink forward. Now you can bring your chest down. You can have your feet in nice and close. They can be further away. Really letting your body guide you. Now you can bring your forearms down, keeping your spine straight. You can have your hands wrapped around your feet, or you can reach your fingertips forward. Sinking your bottom down toward the ground, focusing on your breath, inhales and exhales through the nose. Letting your body take you as far as it will take you. Then embracing that stillness and allowing yourself to really feel and soak in the stretch. Feel the sensation. Start to be able to discern between pain and sensation. So you never want to feel pain in yoga, but sensation is a good thing. It means that you're expanding the connective tissues that can often be very tight and stuck. So you're expanding, and it takes time. And that's why we hold in these postures, because we're getting into that connective tissue and releasing the connective tissue. Let's slowly start to come up. Bring your knees together. Feel the release. Extend your legs out long. Maybe it feels good to pedal out your legs. Take some organic movement. Your body knows what it needs for that release. Your body knows what it needs. So maybe you need to bring in some movement and mobility. Come down onto our backs. And lift your legs straight up toward the ceiling, flexing your toes towards your face. Let your hands be down by your side. To start, I invite you to just gently rock right and left, maybe making some circles with your feet. To give your lower back a little bit of a massage, and then find some stillness. Find stillness here. In your waterfall or legs up the wall. This is really good for your circulatory system. This is really good if you are having a hard time sleeping. It's also really good for your gut and digestive system. Notice where your mind goes as it wanders. And know that it's okay if your mind wanders. Just acknowledge the thought and bring your awareness back to your breath. Being aware of that ujjayi breath. Letting your head relax, letting your back relax. Let's bend at our knees. Cross your right leg over top of your left, and then let your legs come to the left. It's okay if your shoulder comes off of the mat. It's okay if your knees are floating. Just find this twist in the torso, this twist through the body. Again, trusting sensation. So if you need to take some extensions in the legs, that's okay. Twists are also really good for our digestive system and detoxifying our body, our internal organs. See if you can let your lower body relax. See if you can become aware of the tension that may be in that lower body, wherever it is. See if you can let it relax. We're really deepening our communication with our body in this practice. So we're creating the space for our body to communicate with us, to say, I need a little bit of extra attention here. I have some tension here that I could use your help with. Or maybe there's some pain here that you need to address. There's something here that needs your attention. And then we get curious about what is that? What needs our attention? We let the body lead us to wellness. Bring those legs back through center. Unravel your feet. Take a moment, square your hips. Let's actually squeeze the knees into our chest before we come to the other side. Let's put our hands on our knees, do some circles. Really good for your hips and your lower back. Now, cross your left leg over your right and drop your knees to the right. It's okay if that shoulder lifts. Just letting yourself twist in whatever way your body feels good twisting. Maybe it doesn't feel good to you to wrap your legs. That's okay too. Just find something that is accessible in your body that you're twisting through your torso. And trust your body. Trust your body knows what it needs. Trust your body. We so often rely on our minds to control our body, but there's so much innate wisdom that exists within the body. And yoga is really a practice that allows us to tap into that innate wisdom. So there are some exercises where it's like all mental force, forcing yourself through to the next level. Yoga is a little bit different. You're not forcing anything. You don't force things in yoga. You let the body get there. You allow for the process to occur. So just now, I just released my right hip, and that helped to twist my body a little bit more. So I allowed that release to happen. I'm not forcing my knees down. I'm not, forcing my elbow down. I'm allowing myself to release into the pose. And that's a beautiful thing too, is that what it looks like in my body and what it looks like in your body is going to be different because we have different bodies. Our bodies hold tension in different ways, in different places. We did different things yesterday, the day before. our bodies are different. We're at different levels of hydration, of digestion, of rest. There's so many different layers here that we're traveling through to come to wellness. Bring that knee back through center. Let's take a moment here, again, pulling your knees into your chest, bringing your forehead towards your knees, pulling those knees in. Let's pull everything in, coming into a tiny ball. Pulling everything into a tiny ball. Giving yourself an extra good squeeze. Pull everything in. Compress, 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 compress as much as you can. And then release everything out. Coming into your final Shavasana. So your ankles come out wide. Your hands come down by your side. Let your body sink into the space beneath you, sink into the mat beneath you. And bring your awareness to that Ujjayi breath. Let's take a moment here. Let's send our body some appreciation. The more we love, accept, and appreciate our body, the more it changes. The more we can love it for exactly as it is, the more we'll notice what's changing. Sometimes changes are more subtle. Sometimes they're more obvious. But I promise you, your body is changing. You are changing. Change is our only constant. And to me, what I equate change to is growth. So you are always growing. Stay exactly as you are, letting yourself rest and relax into the space beneath you. As we close out class, I'm going to pull an angel card. So as you're lying in your Shavasana, I want you to think about something that has been on your heart, in your mind, something that you'd like a little bit of guidance with. I'm going to shuffle the cards, and quite often a card just pops out. Please think about your question. Think about whatever it is you're faced with, whatever it is you're going through. Ask for guidance. Ask your angels for guidance. So today's angel card is release and surrender. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. The angels bring this card to you because you've been trying to fix this situation single-handedly. They'd love to help you and answer your prayers, but first you need to surrender and release the situation. Surrender simply means that you're tired of struggling. It means emotionally letting go with faith that divine wisdom of spirit, which includes your higher self, can do a better job. Surrender doesn't mean you've given up or that you want to be controlled. Through surrender, you'll be assured of a better outcome. If you need help with surrender, ask the angels to assist you. Don't worry about how your prayer will be answered. Let God figure out the details. Be willing to ask for help. Release tension and need to control, and things will go better. Avoid power struggles in your relationship. Simply own your power, and you won't have to fight for it. What a beautiful message. Release and surrender. Start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, pressing yourself up into an easy seat, grounding down into your sitting bones. Bring your hands through heart center. As we close out class, as we embark on the rest of our day, I invite you to release and surrender. I love that message. It's so powerful. You are not alone. There is always support here for you. Angels, a team of angels, ready and willing. All you have to do is ask. Thank you for being here today, for sharing the space, the light and the love, and my team of angels. See, honor, reflect, and encourage your light and your love. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again on your mats very, very soon. And until then, let your light be your guide.